Imagine tens of thousands of men clashing on a windswept Yorkshire field, arrows blackening the sky, the cold blood of winter mixing with mud and steel. In a single day in 1461, one of the bloodiest battles fought on English soil decided the fate of kings and changed the course of the Wars of the Roses. This is the Battle of Towton, a storm of violence, strategy, and desperate courage that won a crown and left families shattered. Stay with me. By the end of this video, you'll understand how Towton happened, why it mattered, and what it felt like to fight in the coldest, cruelest of wars. Today we're unpacking Towton, 1461, the largest single-day battle of the Wars of the Roses. I'll guide you step by step through the strategy, the turning points, and the human stories behind the headlines. By early 1461, England was split. The House of York and the House of Lancaster both claimed the throne. After a string of skirmishes and shifting loyalties, the Yorkists, led by Edward, Earl of March, moved north to confront Lancastrian forces. Towton was chosen more by circumstance than ceremony. It sat on a main north-south route, and both armies converged there in late March. Winter winds howled across the plain, a detail that would matter. The armies were huge for their time. Estimates vary, but tens of thousands stood ready. Yorkist longbowmen and men-at-arms faced Lancastrian knights and billmen. Weapons were simple but brutal. Longbows raining arrows, bills and polearms for close work, and heavy cavalry to break lines. Importantly, the longbow remained the war-winning technology. Rate of fire and range gave skilled archers terrifying reach. Both commanders tried to force favorable ground. The Yorkists sought to use the wind and a rising sun at their backs. On the morning of the battle, a bitter north wind blew. It threw dust and arrow flight into the Lancastrian faces. This was not luck. Commanders knew how weather shaped combat. The Yorkist commanders exploited the wind and their archers to soften the enemy before the close fight. The fight began with volleys of arrows. Longbowmen on both sides tried to disrupt formations. As arrow fire thinned, infantry advances turned into desperate hand-to-hand fighting. The plain around Towton offered little shelter. This meant that when one side began to crumble, retreat was deadly. Many Lancastrians tried to flee across rivers and boggy ground. Thousands were cut down or drowned. The battle quickly became not just about tactics, but about survival. Several moments decided Towton. Yorkist discipline under pressure kept their lines organized, while Lancastrian cohesion faltered. The weather's role cannot be overstated. The wind favored the Yorkists, making Lancastrian arrows less effective and their faces exposed. Leadership on horseback, where commanders could rally men, also mattered. Those who controlled reserves at the right time turned localized clashes into wide-scale routs. When the smoke cleared, casualty numbers were staggering. Contemporary accounts speak of thousands dead, entire gentry families wiped out in a day. Politically, Towton cemented Edward of York's hold on the throne as King Edward IV. For the Lancastrians, it was a devastating blow that forced many into exile and set the pattern for years of guerrilla resistance, shifting loyalties, and further bloodshed in the Wars of the Roses. Beyond strategy and kings, Towton was made of people, raw recruits pressed into service, veteran archers who'd seen other wars, and civilians dragged into violence. Imagine young men far from home, freezing in mail and leather, hearing the thud of massed feet and the scream of arrows. Survivors carried scars, physical and emotional, that shaped local life for decades. Towton 1461 matters because it shows how technology, leadership, and environment combine to decide history. It's a reminder that a single day of combat can reshape nations. The battle's legacy is visible in family trees, land ownership, and the sudden rise of Edward IV, a young ruler whose victory at Towton launched a new chapter in England's royal story. Thanks for watching. If you found this clear and gripping, hit like, it really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives into pivotal moments like the Battle of Towton and the Wars of the Roses. Drop a comment. What surprised you most about Towton 1461? I'll read the best ones. See you in the next video.